Oh, hey, Bev.
Hey, Sam.
Ah! There's a lot of bubbles.
I mean, that's a good thing, right?
It feels like a lot of head, and not in a good way. I'll do the old nose oil trick.
Oh,
There it
good one.
goes. There it goes. Now the head's going down.
Good job. Good job. So would you like to tell the listeners what we're drinking?
Yes. So we went to, it wasn't called Central State Brewing. It was called something else today.
Well, it is Central State Brewing, but their tap house is called something else.
It's not called something else. That's probably what you're thinking. But let me check real quick because I checked in on Facebook.
Oh.
The Coles chip.
The Kolschip. I'm sure that
There we
means
go.
something in German.
Yes. And I'm German, so I feel like I should know better. But the primary brewery that they work with is Central State Brewing. And we found this really fun beer. And it is a collaboration with like 20 other breweries or something crazy like that.
So we're not going to read them all.
No, but the headliner one says Saint Somewhere Brewing Company, and the beer name is Farmhouse as F***. And I'm sure Bev probably just put a chicken noise over that since we don't say the F*** word on the podcast out loud. But it is a farmhouse ale brewed with spices. And we will take a picture of this bottle, and you'll have to check it out on our Instagram at Drinkin' Farm. But it is a hybrid of a chicken and a cow. And we saw it and we said, oh, this is perfect to record the part 2 for Coop Camp.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
And how is it? Because you took a sip and I haven't yet.
It's good. It's a classic farmhouse ale, which is a style of beer that I'm a big fan of. So
it's very spicy.
I enjoy it very much.
I feel the spices and I like it.
Yes.
But it is good. And I can't get over that bottle. It's just, it's too good.
It really is. And our beer this episode was sponsored by Christine Sayani, which is @_homemade confetti. So cheers, lady. Thank you. And just in case you're new here, welcome to We Drink and We Farm Things, the Minisode.
Woohoo! I'm Sam.
And I'm Bev.
And the reason I said that was because I usually introduce you.
Yes, that felt very strange.
That felt weird.
That's okay.
But we're on a mini-sode.
Everything's a little weird right now.
Yeah, and we're really tired, guys.
Oh my gosh. Coop Camp was exhausting, but I'm so thankful to our sponsors for sending us Henny and Rue, Grubblies, for Saturday Lime. You guys are all amazing. We learned so much. I felt like we had a really awesome opportunity to help educate the other Coop campers about our awesome sponsors, which felt really good. I mean, I even got to shout out the name of some of them while we were on the panel, which was pretty awesome. And of course, we're super thankful to our amazing Patreon peeps. You guys helped send us to Coop Camp as well. And for that, we are forever grateful. We've had a great time and we've learned a lot.
Yes, but I don't know about you. I'm ready to get home to my little farm now that, that it's over and a lot of people have gone home. But I'm right there with you. I'm extremely grateful, and I don't think I've quite grasped the full awesomeness and the opportunity that was given to us. Like I feel it in bits and pieces between the laughter and the beer drinking and the awkward tears I had on part 1 of this discussion.
Yeah.
But yes, I agree. And today we want to share with you the final day of Coop Camp and how that went and what we did. Kind of a continuation of the last episode you heard.
Yeah, exactly. Since this episode only covers one day, we thought a mini-sode would be appropriate to cover it rather than take up a whole nother episode slot. Yeah, so we'll just like dive right into it.
Get on in there.
Right. Well, you know, it was funny. The first thing that I noticed about today, we did not sign up for the goat yoga today like we did on Saturday. And that was just because we didn't want to overcommit ourselves. We thought we might go out Saturday night, so we thought we might want to sleep in on Sunday. We did not go out on Saturday night. We were too tired.
Right. And I believe we told you that we were fighting the FOMO
yeah.
on the last episode, and that was the correct decision to make.
It totally was. But we still went in early because we thought we could help wrangle baby goats for goat yoga. But it rained all day on Sunday, and it was really hilarious because when we walked in, the goat yoga was like Zen AF when it was done indoors.
There was music. People were quiet. They were actually yogaing. I fast the yoga 100% because of the goats.
Yeah.
It felt oddly private, so we didn't really stay and watch, and we went into the other room and set up our stuff.
Yeah.
Because it just felt weird to stare at people doing yoga seriously. I felt kind of like a perv a little bit, even though I wasn't looking at anybody inappropriately. It just felt awkward.
Yeah, it did. It totally felt awkward. But we definitely decided afterwards that while there was more yogaing on day 2, we definitely had the fun goat yoga session.
The Sam and Bev approved version.
Yes.
Where we could be inappropriate or just kind of flakes about it, and it was totally fine because we weren't the only ones.
That's right.
Or maybe in all of our influence, we influenced people to be as lame as us.
I mean, I wouldn't call that lame. I would call that fun.
Distracted by goats.
Distracted. I mean, we have goats and we're still distracted by other goats. So goats will just do that to you.
Right.
But we did learn some things on day 2 also. It wasn't just...
I think you mean day 3.
I mean day 3. Oh my gosh.
What day is it? Where am I?
Oh, that's how I'm feeling.
What beer am I drinking?
Farmhouse AF. Oh, dang it. You really want me to have to work hard to edit this episode, don't you?
This is the Minisode. It'll take you like 2 seconds.
No, longer than that. You're
going to have to find like a... Or you could just use that.
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Okay, I'll stop with the F word now.
We did learn some stuff today on day 3, which is Sunday of Coop Camp. And the first speaker was Twain Lockhart again from Neutrina. And he did a talk that was titled Insights into Your Feed. And I mean, first of all, Twain is just hilarious. I have no other way to describe him. His humor is just so great. And at the beginning of his talk, he really dives into the fact that feed companies really just formulate feed for chickens and just call all the other birds that people raise different chickens. And he really explained to us how that was just not correct. My favorite was when he was asking if like all these things mattered. Like, do pheasants matter? Do pigeons matter? Do ducks matter? And everybody's like, yeah. And he's like, nope. And he's like, well, I mean, at least in the eyes of the feed company, it was super entertaining. Maybe you had to be there, but
yeah,
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, he's great. And his personality is just so fun to be around, and he was making things kind of like competitive, and Bev really got into it today and started getting loud and proud with her answers.
I really wanted to win one of those t-shirts, and guess what? I got one.
Yeah. Yes,
I mean, I had to run up to the table and step on people and shove people out of the way to go get one. But I
figured that's what happened. I didn't see it, but I just sensed it. But she got me one too, so I can't really judge her for it.
Exactly. Joys. But we did learn something really important, or not important, but interesting during Twain's talk, besides the fact that feed companies only formulate for chickens. He showed this really compelling photo of 3 Cornish cross meat birds. And one of them was just fed the straight meat grower protein feed, which is just like a 22% protein feed. And then the second one was, I don't remember what the second one was fed. Unfortunately, I didn't write that down in my notebook. That? You might have been using the restroom during that. And then the third photo was of a meat chicken that was fed the 22% grower feed with pre and probiotics. And it was at least a third bigger than the second chicken and twice as big as the chicken that just got the plain feed. That's what it was. The first chicken was just the plain feed with the 22%. The second one was the 22% with vitamins in it. And the third one was the 22% with pre and probiotics and vitamins. And it turns out that that was an excellent combination to grow meat birds at a better rate. And I just thought that was super fascinating because it was very visual. I'm sorry you missed that.
I missed that. I was peeing.
Well, I'm glad I made a note and I could share it with you.
The second talk from today was from Pat Foreman, and she talked about heritage breeds. And she's written a ton of books and just seems very knowledgeable. And so, Bev, what did you think was what was your takeaway or the funniest thing or most memorable thing from that talk that you remember?
The most memorable thing from that talk that I remember was that she said Robert E. Lee had a war chicken. And she was a heritage breed chicken. She showed a photo of what they thought his heritage breed chicken was, but really it's one of those heritage breeds that has since gone extinct. And it was like a mix between a Bantam and like a Millie Fleur. Did I pronounce that right?
I didn't even know that much.
Yeah,
I think you pronounced it right, but it did not look like that to me, so I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, I mean it was like a speckled chicken with like a little bit of some neat stuff coming off of the top of its head, feathers. Yeah, you know.
But yes, I think you said that right.
I did. Okay.
I think I could be saying it wrong too, though. So
yeah.
Both these.
I mean, I have no idea how to say that breed of chicken. I just saw it written on the slide that she showed.
Say it like you spell it.
Right.
Not really, though. Not really for that one.
And her talk was really fascinating because she really talked about how heritage breeds of livestock were in danger of becoming extinct. Mm-hmm. And she also has some really fascinating theories about like stress in food transferring to the person that consumes it. I don't know if there's been any studies on it or anything to prove that there's a link, but I thought it was a really interesting theory.
Yeah, she was linking a lot to like types of fat that you consume in your brain chemistry, which isn't far off from some of the stuff that I learned through one of our quote unquote benefits from work. And she wasn't saying things that I've never heard before, but it's still relatively new thinking with if you're eating something that's obese, do you become obese kind of thing. So if we're eating a Cornish cross hen that was commercially produced and was fed crazy amounts of food compared to a heritage breed that was running around the yard and is a little more lean, which one is actually better for you? So that was some interesting insight. And she did show a good picture of like a Cornish cross that was commercially produced and was like fat AF, and then a heritage breed that was way leaner. So that was pretty cool to see that comparison.
Yeah, it was a nice visual. I like visuals. I figured out that I'm a visual learner. So actually going to a convention like this, getting to see people talk and show slides, I feel like has really packed my brain full of some interesting knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then we had Patricia Wakenall which was a PhD from Purdue University. So she did 2 talks. One of them was about icky things that grow in and on our chickens. And the other one was titled My Favorite Disease 2 Steps, Merrick's and Coccidiosis, which I found both very technical and fascinating. I fear a lot of it ended up going over my head, but it was a good refresher course on Merrick's because I know that we had talked about it on the podcast a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't want to spoil too much of that because I'd really like to either do a deeper dive into that either ourselves or try to get this veterinarian to come talk to us on the podcast.
Yeah.
But I thought it was really interesting. She actually taught us that you can vaccinate adult birds for Merrick's, and I had no idea.
Yeah, I had no idea about that too.
So it was really cool.
Something Sam and I were discussing was I actually won the silent auction for the hatching eggs that Brad had brought from his flock. So I'm going to get to raise a flock of Coop Dreams chickens on my farm. And I'm thinking about when they hatch, vaccinating them for Merrick's and then vaccinating my adult birds at the same time so that I can talk about what that was like. So I just need to figure out if I can get a hold of the Merrick's vaccine and do a little bit of research on how to actually do it, because not gonna lie, sticking needles into teeny tiny chicks makes me a little nervous, but I think I can handle it.
Yeah. So yeah, hashtag do it for the podcast.
I do everything for the podcast in case the podcast hasn't figured that out yet.
And then we had a lovely lunch break and we did a fun little workshop with our brand new beekeeper friend.
Our new beekeeper friend's name is handsonbeekeepers.com. His name's actually Steve. That web address is not his name.
Oh man, I thought it was like a really progressive name for his time for a second there. I'm like, wow, what's the world coming to?
Right. No, but you can go visit him at handsonbeekeepers.com. His name's Steve. He brought this super cool hive. It's the kind of hive that Brad actually uses on his farm. And it's called a Drebbyville hive. And it just looked really neat. We posted a video of it on our stories. Mm-hmm. So you can check that out. And we will be having him on the podcast as well. He's supposed to be emailing us to schedule that. So you'll get to learn more about that specific setup and a little fun beekeeping knowledge later. But the class that he taught was on making a seed bomb, which was a lot of fun.
Yes. So he actually had us all split up into different regions. And this was because essentially what it was he gave us some clay. We rolled it into like a ball and then we flattened it out like a pancake. You put some soil in there. And then he had a seed mix that was compatible with your region. So we were at the table with our new friend Natalie. And then Brad was at our table as well as some other fun people. And we're convinced our seed balls are going to be the best seed ball bomb things out of all of Coop Camp because we're just fabulous at it.
Yes.
So that was essentially what we did. And all you do is you like set that thing outside and then over time it's going to sprout and bloom beautiful things that are not invasive to your region.
Yeah.
And then it's a pollinator garden.
A native pollinator garden, which is great for the earth.
That was super fun.
I called them bath bombs for Mother Nature.
Yes.
It was very cute and appropriate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that was a fun little workshop after the lunch that we had. And then we had one more talk for the day. And I think we ended on a high note. We had a fun talk with Jennifer. She she spoke the day before about some crazy chicken stuff that just blew our little minds. But today she talked about chicken psychology,
which is always a fascinating subject.
And this is kind of a weird thing for it to be my favorite thing because it was literally like 2 seconds. But she pointed out, like, just like in our first episode when we said like all those farm sayings were true, she pointed out that all those chicken, I think she called them idioms,
oh yeah,
are true, and then had some people name off different ones, and it just made my heart smile because hearts can do that, because it's like that's one of the first things we talked about on the podcast. And somebody said one that we'd never heard before, and it was something like scarce as a hen's teeth.
Oh, that's right.
Or something like that. And I'd never heard that one before.
Scarce as a hen's teeth.
So I was glad that she brought that out and people and everybody kind of shouted one out, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it really was. But it was a lot of common ones like home to roost, you know, head hen.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Hen-pecked.
Hen-pecked. Yeah. Yeah, it was good. It was a great talk.
Yeah.
I really like Jennifer from Home to Roost. She's got a lot of really great chicken knowledge. So if you ever get the chance to go see her speak somewhere, I highly recommend you do it.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And that was it for speakers. And then we got to sit on the panel again, and kind of hang out with all the cool kids up front, and questions were asked and a lot of laughs were had, and then it was like boom, it was done. It was time for the final chicken poop bingo, and people were packing up and leaving, and it felt like the end of camp, and it was so sad.
Well, but it got to end on a really high note. Would you like to tell the people what you won? I mean, they follow our Instagram, so they've seen it.
But yeah, so the last chicken poop bingo had the Mac Daddy of all prizes, which was a chicken coop from the omelet company, and I bet on lucky number 14, which is our family number, and I told those chickens, I need you to poop there. I sent my husband a picture of the coop beforehand and said cross your fingers. I sent in all the good positive vibes that way. And those chickens were taking forever to take a shit.
Oh my gosh, it was like an hour.
Yes. So Bev took a load of stuff out to the car, and I was just kind of sitting there waiting, and I was like, I'm being lazy. I should help. So I grabbed a bunch of stuff and went out to the car and dropped it off. And then on my way back, this older, kind gentleman in really snappy overalls pointed at me and made a noise and said something. I can't even remember what he said. I was like, he's like, there's something in there for you. And I was like, did I win? And I walked in, and Bev's like, you won! And I missed it.
You did. You missed it. And it was so funny. I was wondering if you were in the building still, because you should have heard it. I screamed your name so loud when they said that the chicken pooped on your number. They're like, 14, 14. I was like, that was Sam's number. Sam!
And I was outside.
You didn't come running, so I assumed you were outside.
Yeah, I was outside trying to figure out how to lock Bev's freaking car. I unlocked it just fine, but it thought it wasn't unlocked long enough, I think. It took a few tries, and then I missed the chicken pooping. But I won. And so I will be a proud owner of a free... I love free.
Oh, that's so nice.
Omelet coop in my yard, and I guess it comes with a run too.
That's what they say.
Yeah. So stay tuned for photos of that, and I'll tell you guys how much I love it when I get it. I've been wanting one for quite some time, so I feel very lucky and fortunate that I was able to participate and spent my last $20 in cash on a square.
I'm glad you did too.
I mean, that was a pretty good ROI.
Yeah, it really was. It really was.
And I'll have to thank all the other people that bought squares on that too, because they helped make it possible.
Yeah. I bought 2 of them because I'm a sucker. No.
Hey, you were increasing your chances. So.
Yeah, I really wanted that coop too, but that's all right. If I couldn't have it, I'm really glad it was Sam that got it. So that makes my heart super happy. So now that Coop Camp is over, do you have anything that you would say was like your, like, what's your most memorable thing from it? I really hate asking like favorite because there were so many amazing things. It's really like impossible to pick one, but is there anything at this moment, like post Coop Camp, sitting on the couch in our stretchy pants, so tired we can barely hold the microphones, like what's sticking out in your mind as the thing you think like will be the memory that sticks out?
Why are you asking such hard questions?
Because that's my job.
Pass.
Pass.
I right now in this very moment, it's more of a feeling that sticks out. I think, and that's just gratitude.
Yeah, that's good.
The end. Your turn.
I like it.
You can't steal my answer.
You
You have to be original.
Dang
I
it.
hope that was your answer because you asked a really hard question. And I'm sticking it to the man.
Sticking it to the man. You know, I think my most memorable thing is going to be how good it felt to just get to chat with people and feel some confidence in myself and what we're doing. I'm not a typically confident person. Like, I really seriously suffer from imposter syndrome, so something like this was way out of my comfort zone. And by the end, people were asking me questions and I felt confident answering them. And I feel like we were able to add value to Coop Camp, which was something that, you know, when you suffer from imposter syndrome, you're worried that like you don't deserve to be there or you're not good enough to be there. But like by the end of it, I was like, no, we totally deserved to be there. And we added value. We added a good energy and a good vibe. And I think we helped some people with some things. I think we introduced some people to a podcast and hopefully our little community so that they can not feel not so alone and give zero clucks to about not having the perfect farm life. And yeah, it was a really good feeling. And I'm also really grateful for the opportunity too. I mean, like I have to throw that in there.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
it's the truth. It
is. It's absolutely the truth. And we got to go because you guys listen and you guys support us and you guys leave us reviews and you guys send our podcast to your friends and you guys support us on Patreon and you support our amazing sponsors for Saturday Lime, Honey and Rue, and Grubbly Farms. And so
it was pretty cool to have multiple people come up to us today and say, oh, I listened to like 3 or 4 of your episodes since yesterday.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, damn. Okay. So we didn't suck. We weren't assholes and they liked us. Or maybe we are assholes and they're just, you know, okay with that. I don't know. But that was like really cool and kind of weird in a way because it was like, oh yeah, that makes sense for you to like do that now and go listen to us and still like us. And I think sometimes it's just easy to get into the routine of, okay, we got to record. We're writing these commercials. What are we going to talk about? That you actually kind of forget sometimes that people are consuming the content and they like it.
Yeah.
So for them to come up to our faces and say it was really cool. It was like a reminder that people do seem to be appreciating this, all the pain, especially that Bev goes through with all the editing and everything. They appreciate it and enjoy it. So it makes it feel worth it.
Yeah, it really does. And I'm really proud of us. I'm allowed to have some pride in what we did. Like, we had a great time here. We made some new friends and we got to meet some old friends that we've been talking to on the internet for years, which was super exciting. Yeah. But we also worked really hard while we were here to add some value to Coop Camp and come straight back to the hotel room and record after the days were over so that we could share our experience fresh and firsthand with you guys, because without you guys we wouldn't have gotten to do this. So I'm really proud of that. I'm excited that we got to come. We had a great time, but we were also really responsible and
yeah, no hangovers.
0 hangovers during Coop Camp.
Go team.
But like we've discussed before, you and I really aren't that big of binge drinkers. Like
every
now and again, but really like
sometimes you don't even have to binge though.
I know, that's true. That's the thing about being in your 30s.
I've been hydrating. We are not sponsored by Liquid IV yet, but I highly recommend it if you are a pansy like me and get hangovers super easily. I've been forcing it on Bev too.
Yeah, and it's a good thing because I forget to drink my water if Sam doesn't remind me to. So
yes. We take care of each other in our own ways.
Yeah, so thanks for listening, guys. This was a fun little mini-sode to put together. I hope you feel like you got to kind of join us at Coop Camp, even though you didn't get to be here. And I also hope that if you get the opportunity to come to a future one, that you'll come and join us.
Yes.
Join us on it. And, if you missed the stories and the photos and stuff on Instagram, go over to our Instagram, which is at Drink and Farm. We're going to put together a highlight reel, like on the homepage of our Instagram, so you can click on that and watch all the fun things that we posted during Coop Camp, so you can see it if you've missed it. And you can also flip through our squares and take a look at the things that we posted to the feed while we were there, because I think it was a good time.
Group.
And yeah, you can go check out our Facebook group. We posted some things in there as well.
Yep. And then if you feel like that's not enough, then I feel like you need to come to Coop Camp next year so you can experience it firsthand. I mean, Natalie Quist got VIP treatment, and we took her out drinking with us after Coop Camp before she had to get on her flight. So, I feel like that VIP treatment won't be able to continue every single year as more and more of you come along. But, maybe we'll do a little side thing after Coop Camp.
Yeah.
If you come hang out with us, or maybe we'll be brave and go drink for a little bit
with other people.
No promises, but yeah, I wanted to do special shout out again to Natalie for hanging out with us and being so kind to us too, and giving us a couple of farm things to share with that you guys will hear. She shared a farm story and told us a little bit about coming to Coop Camp solo.
Yeah.
So keep an ear out for those.
Yeah. And most of all, drink,
farm,
and give 0 clucks. Bye, guys.
Bye. It's time for bed.
Hi, Natalie.
Hi, Bev.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I am doing amazing.
Awesome.
So Natalie Quist has been one of our podcast listeners for a while.
Woo.
And she came to Coop Camp this year. It's Coop Camp 2019, all by herself. So I wanted her to tell us how she found that experience to be.
Excellent. I sure will. So I've been listening to Drink and Farm since last March, April-ish, right after I got chickens, I think. So probably just after your first couple of episodes, I found out about this podcast. And soon after getting chickens, when I was doing all my research, I found out about Coop Dreams as well. And I think that the Coop Camp had just started, or it was like a couple weeks out, and whatever it was, I'd completely missed the boat on being able to attend. And
that totally happened to us too. We had some serious FOMO watching all
yes.
of those stories
yes.
and posts on Instagram.
Yes.
We were like, how are we not there?
Exactly. Yeah. And I'd only had chickens for, 5 seconds, and I already felt like I needed to be there. These were my people. I wanted to learn all about it, because if you're anything like me, and I think you're like this too, you research the heck out of everything when you first get into it. And so that's what led me to all of this. And here's this thing that I could be participating in that I didn't know about. So I've been having my excitement over attending Coop Camp for pretty much a year, or more than, which is a long time.
Yeah.
So I was really looking forward to this. And as soon as everything was announced, I signed up within seconds of seeing it.
I feel like I saw that.
Yeah.
Sam and I had just released the episode that said that tickets were on sale,
Yep.
and in the group you were like, yep, bought it.
Done. And at this point, I think it was winter. It was terrible out. We were all planning our winter or our summer gardens. We're all getting excited about something in not this terrible weather. So dreaming of Coop Camp was perfect. So I came by myself because my boyfriend has accompanied me to a lot of fairgrounds over the past couple years. I've done I was a vendor my business was Cloud Lover Yarn and Fiber, so I do a lot of sheep and wool festivals for almost a decade, and I think that started grinding on us a little bit, kind of doing the tour of the Midwest and fairgrounds. So when this chicken thing came up, he's like, you're on your own. I'm like, that's okay, I got it. So the other funny part is I don't drive. I'm in Chicago, so I have a license. I don't use it. So I had to get on an airplane to come down here, which is, just adds to the weirdness of this all. Coming to this Coop Camp in Indiana alone by plane, but whatever, I'm cool. So I actually travel a lot for work, so I travel a lot by myself anyway. So coming to an event like this wasn't necessarily nerve-wracking for me in that sense because I'm used to doing these types of things. But as an introvert, you don't know anybody here.
Yeah.
I knew some of you from the internet, but that's not the same as knowing them in real life.
Yeah, so no, it's not.
It's a little strange walking into a room and recognizing people off of YouTube or Instagram or Facebook and feeling, you've got this familiarity with them, but you don't really know each other, which is fine because you get over that and you talk and you meet, and everyone here is awesome. Everyone here is here for the same reason. We're all crazy chicken people, full stop, and that's why we're all in this room together. So if there's any sense of, oh wow, this might be weird, because no, I mean, we've taken that aside. It's all weird for everybody.
Well, that's
Right.
awesome.
Yep.
I'm really glad to hear that because I'm really hoping that this can encourage somebody that was maybe a little nervous to try to do it this year or was having some misgivings about what it would be like to show up by yourself, like to just know
Absolutely.
it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, if you hesitated for a moment because you don't have a friend or your spouse is thinking, okay, that's your thing, just do it. Get in a car, get on a plane, put on the podcast, come on down, and everyone's super friendly. There's a lot to do, and you will not be disappointed.
Well, awesome. Thanks for sharing that with us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We drink things, we farm things.